Welcome to another edition of my cancer story. This is Cancer Lady 78. I'm going to be talking to you about my road to recovery. Um, Before I do, let me talk to you about some good news I got on yesterday. I, Earlier this week, I went in for an ultrasound because I am nearing the end of my treatment. And then yesterday, I also went in for treatment, and I spoke with my doctor about the results of the ultrasound, and things are certainly looking up. Uh, right now, they have the mass measured at 1.1 centimeters, which is a great improvement because originally it was like 2.5 and had grown to a little over 5 centimeters, which is what landed me in stage 3 cancer uh, when I was finally diagnosed. Um, so we can see that the chemo has been working. And also, they can even tell that the lymph node was involved. So it has gone from basically being overtaken by the cancer to not being cancerous at all. So I have responded very well to the treatment, and I'm looking forward to surgery to have everything removed next month. But it has been a long journey getting here. These last few weeks have been a real emotional roller coaster for me, and I think a lot of it is because I'm almost finished with my treatment. So I'm exiting one stage of recovery and getting ready to enter another one. And, that does have its emotional effects. I just remember the day that I found out that I had breast cancer and just immediately thinking that I was going to die. You know, I'm 32 years old, have a husband, have kids, have a career, just got my master's degree like the month before, and had bought a new car for, my graduation gift. And then a week after I get the car, I find out that I have cancer. You know, what am I going to do? What is my life going to be like? What is my family's life going to be like if something goes terribly wrong and I die? Who's going to take care of them? What about my job? Am I going to be able to work? How long do I have to live? These are all the questions that I was asking. It was a real terrifying time. And then they tell me I have to go through chemo. I was definitely dreading that, seeing what I'd seen on TV. I didn't want that to be me. But I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. So entering chemo, of course, was very scary because, again, all I knew was what I'd seen on TV. I didn't want to be bald. I didn't want to be sick all the time, hanging over my toilet. I didn't want to lose all that weight that they say you lose, to where you look frail. I could use a little weight loss, but not that much. And I wanted to be able to live my life, work, do things with the family. And so, yeah, I was really scared entering chemo, even though they said that, there had been some major advancements to help keep me from getting sick and, being so tired all the time. It's still scary because you just don't know what to expect. And so my first few sessions, dreaded, dreaded, dreaded. Still scared because after the first session, a week of being just down, feeling sick and not being able to do anything, I just couldn't do that again. But it did start to get better. And after my first 4 treatments, of course, I did change to a different set of chemo, which was not nearly as harsh. And, after that, I really felt like I was on the road to recovery. So I was perking up. especially since I had been able to basically do everything that I'd been doing before cancer. There would be days when I'd be down and, would just have to rest or, ask for a little bit more help than usual when I was doing some things. But for the most part, I was still going to work most of the time. I was still going to all my kids' games and activities, things that I typically would do. Except, I wasn't really going out because I did have to avoid crowds, you know, try to stay away from as many germs as possible. Uh, and of course, I did stop the little drinking that I did. And I didn't want anything to hinder my recovery. But other than that, I was pretty much living life normally. So, things were looking good. And then something unexpected happened right around Thanksgiving. I got a toothache. A terrible toothache. I'm talking pain from my ear all the way to my chin, just the whole side of my face. Excruciating pain that would not go away with anything that I was taking. In fact, I spent Thanksgiving in the bed with a hot towel over the side of my face and tears rolling down my eyes until finally the next morning I got up and went to the emergency room just to get some relief. Uh, in fact, the day I went to the emergency room was the day I was supposed to go in for another chemo treatment, which I missed. Uh, so I was kind of upset about that because that meant that I was going to have to put that on at the end, which meant my treatment was going to be prolonged another week. But it really felt good not to have to go to chemo that week. I almost felt like I was completely normal, except for the tooth pain, which wasn't so bad after I left the emergency room and they hooked me up with some prescription pain meds. That really helped. But I felt normal. I didn't have that overwhelming exhaustion that I always have after chemo that day. Where I'm just stuck in the bed and want to do things but just really can't because I'm just too tired. Not sleepy, but tired. I was able to get a good night's sleep because no steroids from the chemo. So I woke up the next morning really refreshed and was going on about my business. It just really felt good. Felt like my old self again. And that wasn't a good idea because the next week when I had to go back for chemo and feeling all those things, being up at night and being extremely exhausted and wanting to eat up everything in sight, it was like, oh, here we go again. And that's kind of where I am now, because that was about 3 weeks ago. And, now I'm just at the point where I'm just really tired of going through this, and I just want it to be over. I just been an emotional wreck over the last 2 weeks. I've been doing a lot of crying, a lot of moping. And some of that, I will admit, has been from my tooth because it still does give me problems. And I can kind of blame the cancer for that too because, typically when it happens, you just go to the dentist. But it's not that simple for me because I have to first get approval from my doctor to even get the tooth work done. And then because my treatments are at the end of the week, they want me to get it done in the beginning of the week so all of that stuff can be cleared up before I go back to treatment. And I call the dentist once I do get clearance to get the procedure done. And of course, they don't have an opening for 2 or 3 more weeks. So I'm still battling that, and so I am having a lot of sleepless nights, dealing with pain, or steroids from the chemo, and of course that wreaks havoc on my emotions. But I'm just really ready for this to be over. If they could just cut off the breast and say we're done, I would hop in that hospital bed tomorrow. I look in the mirror when I'm getting ready to go to work, and I can't hardly fit anything I have in my closet because I've gained over 10 pounds, which I guess is better than, losing a bunch of weight and looking frail, but when you can't fit anything in your closet, it's never a good thing. I want my hair back. So, I just really want my hair back. I see pictures, because my kids love to look at pictures. So I see a lot of pictures of me before all this happened, when I just got my hair done. And, I don't even look like me anymore because I have no hair. I have no hair on my head, no hair on my arms and legs. My eyelashes are about gone. My eyebrows are about gone. I just don't even look the same. I'm just ready for this to be over. But I'm almost there. I've got 3 more treatments, and then I'll be looking at surgery at the end of next month. So I'm getting there. If you would like to support my cause, please go to www.cancerforcandles.biz.ly. Any contributions or even any encouraging words are very helpful. I'll try to get some sleep because it is now 3:33 in the morning. Try to take some sleeping pills, but I think the steroids won this battle.